Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts again, and welcome back to Subtle Sunday. Subtle Sundays? Yes, Subtle Sunday. I film in advance, so I kind of give up the will to live sometimes on where we are. Anyway, this is today's project. It may not look very subtle in this colourway, but this is Calypso Coral and Pear Pizzazz. So I thought I would change it up a bit. Because as you know, I like to not necessarily do exactly the same thing again. So we're going to use the same basic layout, but just with different colours. So we are using the Flourishing Phrases stamp set. This is a double stamp set, and it's on red rubber or wood. There are matching framelets, but we're not using those, or actually they're thinlets. We're not using those today. We're just going to use the stamp set. And as it's Sunday, I am going to use the God wanted to brighten up the world. So he made you, which is over here. So we are changing the colourway a bit, as I say, still saying when the subtles, because it's Subtle Sunday. So instead of the Calypso Coral, we're going to use Blushing Bride. So let's start by just folding my card base, and I'm as ever folding towards the mountain, having scored, which is slightly counterintuitive. As ever, all the measurements will be on the associated blog post linked below. So thick Whisper White, A4 cut in half to A5, scored down the middle to make an A6 card base. This is my usual first layer, which is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, 14 1/4 by 9 3/4 centimetres, and then this is 5 1/2 by 3 3/4 inches, 14 by 9 1/2 centimetres. But as I say, measurements below. So let's bring just this one for the moment. I've already mounted up my flower, my greenery, and my sentiment. There's some Wink of Stella, which may not be obvious on the video, but is obvious in person. And then the Blushing Bride and Pear Pizzazz inks. Now I'm going to do a little bit more stamping off than I did on the previous one, because I want this to be a softer look. The other thing I'm using is the double stitch ribbon. Is it called double stitch ribbon? Let me just check. It is called ribbon. It is called, don't you love it when a plan comes together? It is called, yes, double stitch ribbon. Yay! 1/4 inch double stitched ribbon, and this is in Blushing Bride, and it's got this double stitch, the dash on one side and the cross on the other. I haven't decided yet which way I'm going to use it. On the original here, I used the narrow. It's the, let's get the name right. It is Invisible. I mean, it's not. It's, I want to say, it's the sheer ribbon. Where's it gone? Where has it gone? Anyway, it'll be linked in the post below. It's invisible on my catalogue, which is just bizarre, really, isn't it? Found it. It's because it's showing in Fresh Fig. Yes, it's the 1/8 inch. It's the 1/8 inch sheer ribbon. Sorry about that. Right. Okay. So let's get on. I am going to start by using the. No, I'm not. I'm going to start by using the flower. I'm going to bring in some paper just to back, because I'm going to be doing some stamping off. This is just a post-it that I've had floating around in the stamp set for a while. We will be using that. Because I'll be stamping and then overlaying. So first is in Blushing Bride, just inking up the flower stamp, and this I'm going to stamp off, and then at second generation, actually going to have this slightly further over than I did last time. Now, because this is second generation, you do need to make sure that you definitely have it on your paper for a while, so that when you lift it up there is some colour there. The other thing that I need to bring in, which of course I have failed to have ready, isn't that just classic? Bear with me one moment, let's grab a piece from there. Is another piece of cardstock, because this needs to be stamped at full strength. So let's do that now. So that's the full strength Blushing Bride. And then if I pop this, now there is actually, this is not a symmetrical image. It looks symmetrical until you try and line something up on top of it. But I have spotted that there is a slightly straighter one of the 4 middle petals, and I've got that on this, so I can pop that over my image, except that's the wrong one because that's the one I'm going to cut out. Love it when I'm concentrating. So let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Don't need the Blushing Bride anymore at the moment, so I'll pop that to one side. Right, Pear Pizzazz. And as I say, I want this to be a slightly more subtle version. I mean, we are on Subtle Sunday, but this I want it to be... I've made the first one about as bright as the subtles will go, and I want this one to be not so bright. So again, I'm putting it over to the right-hand side, which is what I did before. I'm actually going to be having more of it. More of the leaves, I think, underneath the first flower, but that's fine. This you do need to press down quite hard because the post-it note is going to give you a bit of a resistance to where the ink's going. So there we are. It looks dreadful at this stage, but you do that and suddenly it all pops out. Just clean that off so I don't lean on it. Don't need this again just yet. So what I now need to do is, with my snips, just cut this out. Now, I heard somewhere recently that fussy cutting is one of those things that you either love or hate. I don't think that's strictly speaking true. I'm kind of ambivalent about it. I don't like doing anything that's too fussy. Given a choice between fussy cutting or using a die, I will use a die any time. But although there is a floral die in the matching die set, it's a filigree floral, and I don't want a filigree floral for this. I want a solid. And I'm not too worried about whether I'm having a white edge or not, purely because some of it has a white edge and life is too short, really, and it actually will just make it look a bit more natural if it's not perfect. Perfect can sometimes just be wrong. So yes, I don't strive for perfection. I strive for something that looks nice. So today is Sunday. Now I mean it's not. Today is so not Sunday. But you'll be watching this on Sunday. So there is still time, remember, to make the most of the July bonus days. If you spend £45 in my online store, or I should say for each £45 you spend, you will get a code emailed to you that you can then use for August purchases. So you get £4.50 for each £45 you spend on in my online store to then spend in August, which is good. It's also the Christmas in July offer that finishes on the 31st of July. So if you've got a big shopping list, or you're thinking about becoming a demonstrator, now's the moment to join my team, because it's we're giving you extra stuff. So I need some more dimensionals. I very carefully have put my dimensionals somewhere else, so let's open them up. So yes, you're getting 2 D blocks a grid paper, paper snips, a snail, a bone folder, and one of the new Christmas stamp sets, the Carols of Christmas stamp set. Those will go into your starter kit automatically. That's an extra £65, so £195 for £99. It's a brilliant membership fee, and that's really what I consider it. It's like joining a club. And we will then give you a discount on all your purchases. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm just popping that there for no other reason than that's where I fancied putting it. I'm going to bring back in my Blushing Bride ink and a blender pen, and just make sure that it's clean. Pick up some ink from the lid of the ink pad, and to get the ink, I'll show you how to get the ink in a minute, but you basically just press on the lid of your ink pad, and I'm just adding some of the ink to the what I'm considering as buds that are still visible because I have covered one up. So there we go. Whoops. Right. So clean that off. I like to make sure that my blender pen is clean before I put the lid back on, just in case. So to get ink into your pad, onto the lid of your pad, you just take your pad, have it open but not flipped, and just press. And then when you open it up, you can see I've got a fresh pool of ink. So yeah. Okay, right, now the really difficult bit is going to be to get these to line up. I'm going to have them in slightly different places than before, and I say it's difficult because these are red rubber. So let's think, do I want these in? Yep, I'm going to do them in the Pear Pizzazz. Whoops, I don't need that on there. But at full strength, this having been stamped off. So always having it the right way up is a good start. Let me just, okay, so if I'm going to pop this up here, and as ever, if you guys weren't in the way, this would be so much easier getting it straight, but that's not bad. So that's that one, and then let's just pop this one down here. So that's that done. Don't need the ink anymore, and we're nearly there. Whey! So which way up am I going to have this? That way or that way? I think I'm going to have the dashes up. So I'm going to take some fast fuse, because I do like fast fuse for attaching ribbon. Just a little bit either side of my card. And then I'm going to take my ribbon and pop it where I kind of want it on the front. So I want it kind of there. And this is where I have to hope that I put the fast fuse in the right place. Ish. Yay! And then if I turn it over and line it up with my grid paper, I can see where to put this. So I need it with two, oops, helps if it's straight. I need it with two lines showing, so it needs to go there. So it's just catching the, ooh, that's not straight. I need to put a bit more fast fuse down. Didn't put it far enough down. So let's try that again. So it should be about there, hopefully. Yes, good. This is a slightly thicker, both in width and in bulk, ribbon than the previous one, so I'm not going to put the little knot, but that I tied on afterwards. I didn't tie it and then stick it to the card. I just put a little bit of card all the way around, a little bit of ribbon all the way around rather. I'm just putting a bit of fast fuse, making sure I am catching the ribbon. Whoops. Just so that we make sure that's well and truly stuck. Then bring in my Blushing Bride mat, pop that down, make sure that everything is straight still. Right, I'm just going to bring this in. It's my Wink of Stella. I'm going to add a little bit to the centre here, because I can, a little bit here, just to give it a bit of sparkle. And then, let's use this, I'm going to bash and get a little bit just over the whole of the card. You probably can't see that, but I can. Whoops. It just adds a bit of something. And then bring this card base in. Because I've got that still a bit damp, I will just add Fast Fuse to the card base, knowing that that's going to be within where the card base is going. And there you are. Yay! So there you are, let's get rid of that, two similar but not the same cards on Subtle Sunday. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will, yes, remember the associated blog post is below, and also links to all the products that I've used. So I hope to see you again very soon, and I would love to either send you a thank you gift for shopping in my online store. Oh, and remember, I'm doing a giveaway. So if you shop with me this month, you'll also get entered to that giveaway. If you spend £25, you get an entry for every £25 that you spend with me. And that's for 2 of the Hostess sets. So that's good too. So I look forward to either sending you a thank you card or sending you a welcome to my team card. That would be great. Otherwise, I will see you again very soon. Bye!